Mr. Speaker, yesterday the Rules Committee met and reported out a rule, House Resolution 582, providing for consideration of H.R. 2670, the National Defense Authorization Act, or NDAA, as we commonly know it, for fiscal year 2024 under a structured rule. It provides 1 hour of general debate, equally divided and controlled by the chair and ranking member of the Committee on Armed Services. It provides the Committee on Armed Services with an en bloc authority so that the House can expeditiously consider hundreds of member priorities. I rise today in support of the rule and the underlying legislation. Mr. Speaker, the NDAA is one of the most critical pieces of legislation the House considers each year. Congress has a constitutional obligation to provide for the common defense, and this is an obligation I know the House takes very seriously. Each year, the NDAA enables the Congress to set appropriate defense policies, to provide guidance and direction to the armed forces, and above all, to set authorization levels for defense funding. Collectively, these efforts provide our warfighters with the training, equipment, and strategy necessary to meet any challenge around the globe. Congress has enacted the NDAA every year for the last 62 years. While we have a long road ahead of us, I'm confident that we will do so again this year, and I'm gratified that the House is moving forward with consideration of this measure on the floor. Last month, the House Armed Services Committee reported out H.R. 2670 with an overwhelmingly bipartisan vote of 58-1. From a review of the bill, it's easy to see why. H.R. 2670 authorizes $886 billion for the defense programs, an increase of $28 billion. This funding level will ensure our men and women in uniform are equipped for all threats and are prepared and ready to defend freedom all around the globe. In proposing the funding level, the Armed Services Committee stayed within the parameters of funding levels set by the Fiscal Responsibility Act. Additionally, they identified nearly $40 billion that was repurposed to respond to our current national security needs. This ensures that the tax dollars of hardworking Americans are being used in the most efficient and appropriate way possible. H.R. 2670 includes a 5.2% pay increase for our service member, the largest pay increase in over 20 years. It includes critical policies that will counter aggression from the Chinese Communist Party, advance investments in tools of counter emerging threats, bolster the reliability of our supply chains. What's more, it includes critical oversight measures designed to ensure that defense dollars are wisely spent. But it doesn't stop there, Mr. Speaker. H.R. 2670 also ensures that the Biden administration cannot continue to put policies ahead of national security. It rejects the Biden administration's efforts to indoctrinate our troops with progressive ideology like critical race theory training, and instead ensures that the Pentagon's focus is where it should be, on military readiness and preparedness so that our warfighters can defeat aggression and defend freedom anywhere in the world. In drafting H.R. 2670, the Armed Services Committee followed a robust bipartisan process. They considered 760 amendments during the markup and adopted 731 of them. In preparing today's rule, the Rule Committee sought to continue this robust collaborative process. We reviewed over 1,500 amendments, a record number. In keeping with our long-standing tradition at the Rules Committee, we welcomed any member who wished to come testify about their amendments. Dozens of members from both parties took part and educated the committee on their proposals for this bill, and indeed we would have welcomed dozens more. In all, today's rule makes in order 290 amendments reflecting substantive ideas from members on both sides of the aisle and ensuring that members will have an opportunity to present their priorities to the House. I look forward to debating these ideas on the floor and to full and fair consideration of these proposals before the entire House. All in all, H.R. 2670 is a strong bill, Mr. Speaker, and the rule we are considering today is an appropriate one for consideration of such an important measure. I urge the members to support both the rule and H.R. 2670, and I reserve the balance of my time.